Hello chess friends and welcome to Yazarov's chess channel and welcome to my best chess games of all time series. So after this many draws between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana, I really needed to see some winning games. I really needed to see some really nice tactical games, some really sharp games, some really sacrificing pieces and stuff like that. I really needed this, and today I found it a really nice game. It was played in 1985 between Alexander Beliavsky and John Nunn. It was played on this very famous tournament on Vaikanze, and what to say about this guy John Nunn? He's here with the black pieces. He's the former world champion in problem solving. He was 3 times the best tactician in the world. So of course I wanted to see one of his games, and here is his so-called Immortal game, and he played the well-known King's Indian defense against the Samish attack, and this Samish attack can never be boring, I think, and let's see now this John Dunn's masterpiece. So we have here d4 by Beliavsky, knight on f6, c4, g6, so far the King's Indian, knight on c3, bishop to g6, so far so good, e4 and d6. And I've explained this Samish attack, which will follow in my King's Indian series, so I'll show you the link to my King's Indian series at the end of this video, of course, so you can try it out if you like. And we have here f3, the Samish attack, we have here castling, and now bishop to e3. Here John Nunn uses a more calm approach of this King's Indian. He plays first this knight from b to d7. In my series, I'm recommending you to play the move e5, which is even more aggressive. But okay, this knight on d7 is perfectly fine. We are preparing maybe c5 or e5 in order to really challenging here this very nice center here that white has created. So here we have queen to d2, and now Nunn plays here c5, d5, and basically, I think a better line for white is here to play knight from g to e2 first, just to delay a little bit here, and because we want black to take here on d4 and then jump with the knight here on d4 ourselves, so in order to get a nice central control. And this line maybe from knight from g to e2 leads in sort of a Moroxi setup, and if you are familiar with the Sicilian defense against this Moroxi bind, it leads in such lines. And but this would be an improved Moroxi line, because while playing as black, you always play the move knight on c6 first, and then you can even trade the knight here on d4. But okay, here Beliavsky played first the move d5, and now Nunn plays knight on e5. He already occupies really this very nice e5 square, and the problem is, if of course white plays immediately f4, we can play knight on g4 and attacking the bishop, and the problem is we would then immediately trade the knight for the bishop, and in the continuation of the game, of course, black would be better. We would basically have to open somehow this very nice diagonal for the bishop, and there's nothing to challenge anymore this bishop. We have also supported this diagonal, so f4 so far is not possible. That's why white plays here h3. And again, we have here, Nunn is preventing here this f4. So if now he plays f4 immediately, then black has here knight on g3, attacking the rook and the bishop, and if white takes the knight, we can simply take the rook, and the problem is then after that we can escape with the knight. So if white manages to take the knight, of course, then white will get two pieces for the rook, and but you see, it's possible here for the knight to escape. And if white tries maybe something like bishop on f4, you can simply take even here this pawn, and then get out with your knight. So that's why instead of f4 and after knight on h5, here white played bishop on f2, and okay, he's preventing here this knight on g3, but I simply don't like this many moves by white with his bishop. And now Nunn uses it immediately with this move f5, and he already is breaking here in the center. And this meets always with this idea that I always love to say, when your opponent has the king in the center, you have to open these lines and diagonals. You have to try to attack the king as fast as you can. So here we have e takes f5, and now we have rook takes an f5, and probably white's idea was here, if the rook or the bishop takes, to play the move g4, what was played in the game. But now Nunn plays a very nice move, rook takes on f3. Of course, if knight takes on f3, then we have knight takes on f3 with the fork and on the king and the queen. So that's why white took first this h5, and now it's you see already Nunn gave up a piece. He sacrificed a piece, but you see in the continuation of game why he was 3 times the world champion in problem solving, in this chess puzzles and chess tactics. So you have to see now his continuation. Now basically everything is hanging, and he found a deadly continuation. Now he plays first the move queen on f8. Again, I'm repeating here, this knight on f3 is not possible, because you get immediately knight on f3 again with the fork. So now white tries to get another defender here, knight on e4, in order to castle maybe, and then he would have 2 protectors of this bishop on f2. So now Nunn finds another attacking move, bishop on h6. See, he in every next move he will just continue his attack, and he's not allowing here white to breathe. He's not allowing him to castle. And if you play this tactical games, that has to be your main idea. If you stop to attack, you'll probably lose the game. If you stop to maybe even to sacrifice, you will lose the game. So when you already have sacrificed something, then you have to just go forward and play on the attack. If you get the material then equal, or maybe your pawn up, then you can maybe try to calm the position. But in this with this king in the center, of course we are not going here for the trades of pieces, we are going simply for the attack. So we have here queen on c2. So now white's idea is here to take the knight, the rook on f3 with the knight, and then if that happens, if the knight takes on f3, pardon me, here Nunn played first the move queen on f4, and now if the knight takes on f3, then we have knight takes on f3 again with the check, and this would be a really annoying position for white. Here with the spin on the queen, and there's not a clear line how white should defend here. So if the king goes here after knight on f3 here, maybe then again we have this bishop on f5, and here black could maybe attack the queen, but then after a trade we would then have again this possibility to create the discovered attack on the rook, and we have 3 pieces for against 2 pieces. Okay, white's up the exchange, but in the next move we can maybe even take this h5, and then maybe create here a pass pawn on the d file or on the c file. So that's a very nice position. And here instead of knight takes on f3, here white played knight on e2. So we have here now again a nice attacking move by Nunn. He plays first, of course, rook takes on f2. If the knight takes, then we can simply take the queen, and again it's a very nice position for black. So now white took the rook, and now Nunn plays simply for this check, knight on f3 with the check. The king has only 1 square, king on d1, and we have here now a very nice move, queen on h4, attacking the knight. And now Beliavsky plays knight on d3, but his main problems, white's main problems, is that he hasn't played so far with his rooks, and he has this for problems. The bishop is really deadly here, and with the coordination with this knight, it can really create a nice attacking formation, of course with the support with the queen, and we have also possibilities to play the move bishop on f5. Now comes the bishop into the game. As said, bishop on f5, and look at these bishops, they are perfectly aiming here on this very nice diagonals, and this bishop is also out of game so far. So here white played knight on c1, and there is this problem about this knight on c1. Although they are protecting each other, these two knights, the c1 knight and the d3 knight, they are also pinned here. Of course, this knight cannot retake here this knight on c1 if, of course, black decides to capture it. So when you look at such positions, you have to evaluate your pieces. The queen is on an active square, the knight is also on an active square, and the bishop. So what piece can we improve? So okay, we can create maybe here a pinning situation, but it's not a forced line. When you use this tactics in your games, you have to watch first for your forced lines. So you're watching which move is again forcing white to do something. So of course it's the move here, knight on d2, because we have the preparation to create now the attack here on the slide squares, or going here queen on d4. So here we have h takes g6, h takes g6, and now white tries to defend with the bishop also, but we have here knight on c4, and again here is the problem, this e3 square with the coordination with the bishop. It really is an annoying attack. So now, in order to prevent it, here white tries at least to trade the queens, but of course black's not interested. He plays first a check. We have here king on e2. You see, black is not allowing here white to breathe, and he plays here queen on c4, again with sort of a pin here on the king. White played bishop on f3, rook on f8. You see, Nunn brings the last attacker into the game. Now we have here sort of a pin, we have here sort of a pin, we have this bishop's aiming, so perfect coordination by black's pieces. And what can he do? He has to well, white's idea is to bring another defender into the game. He played here the rook on g1, but now Nunn plays knight on c2. You see, white is really lacking of coordination with his pieces, and now again with the idea to play knight on d4. So we have here king on d1, and now Nunn simply took. And this is the position where white resigned, because if knight takes on d3, we have queen takes on d3, and there's no way to prevent this checkmate. So very nice attack, very aggressive style by this top grandmaster John Nunn, and as said, he shows here really that he knows his tactics, and of course he deserves to be on our list on this best chess games of all time. So if you like this video, you can also watch all of my previous best chess games of all time series, and you can also watch my chess tactics if you want to improve your tactical skills, and you can watch all of my King's Indian videos in which I've explained this very nice tactical opening. And of course you can subscribe to my channel. Thanks you for watching, and chess is the best, of course.